Last year, when Aaron Rodgers went into his offseason, he wasn't 100% sure if he was going to return to the Green Bay Packers, and the Green Bay Packers knew that. There were some conversations happening behind the scenes with nobody knowing about Aaron expecting some different things to happen with the Green Bay Packers and how he was being treated by a team in a program that he had been basically the face of for oh so long. And whenever he heard how other teams were potentially treating their superstar quarterbacks, whether it was just being heard or your opinions mattering and everything like that, he had the absolute right to say, hey, I would like to be a part of some of these conversations that happen. Now, nobody was supposed to know about this potential disagreement. The entire thing was just supposed to be behind closed doors, like gentlemen would do business for the past thousands years or so.
Oh, yeah.
Then there was an accumulation of information dropped by Adam Schefter on the day of the draft. That went out into the world. All of a sudden, Aaron Rodgers was not only a prima donna asshole, but he was potentially on the move. The Denver Broncos were going to make a strong play for him. And as he was jumping into waterfalls in Hawaii, completely removed from the world, there was an entire fire around Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, so much so that some of the Green Bay Packers fans turned on Aaron Rodgers. Even though Aaron Rodgers did not say a single thing, did not want the business out, people turned on him and said, this fucking asshole, you're lucky to be in the NFL. Inevitably, he returned to the Green Bay Packers. They had decisions and conversations were made, and everything seemed to be kumbaya. A decision was made to return with the idea that if he wanted to be traded this year, he would be allowed to do so. If the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers' relationship didn't showcase any change from years past this past season, he was able to move on and go elsewhere. He also sat at a podium for like 45 minutes and explained everything, and everybody was like, oh, that's actually probably the more mature way of doing things as opposed to airing out your laundry publicly, like Murphy was when he was sending emails. This past season, we were able to chat with Aaron Rodgers as he went back to back in NFL MVPs. And it felt like if you heard him listen and chat about the wants and hopes that he had for the Green Bay Packers relationship with himself, it seemed like there was change. Him and Gutekunst had a meeting day one, good handshake. And he actually compared that to whenever he shook Favre's hand years ago and welcomed Favre back into the Packers family. So all season, Randall Cobb comes back. There's other decisions going on. And it felt like Aaron was in a happy place. The season ends, obviously, very quickly and early, and too much of a letdown for everybody that was involved in that Packers season, including us.
Yeah.
The team should have won further. He looked back, he came on the conversation with us, and he said, you know, actually, all the things that I kind of wanted differently and changed, it seems like the Packers did work on that. I don't think we're perfect yet, but I do believe there has been real change, real action in making this place maybe a 2022 NFL program as opposed to a 1980 NFL program, which was kind of how the rules were behind the scenes at the Green Bay Packers. So then this offseason was going to be highly sought after because just a year ago, it almost seemed like it was a last dance. What the hell is Aaron Rodgers going to do? Then there was multiple reports that came out about what people thought he was going to do. Anonymous league sources were leaking information to everybody. All basically narrative building that Aaron Rodgers is an asshole. And although all he's ever asked with the Green Bay Packers was a little bit more say, I would like my opinion to be heard. I'm a Mount Rushmore quarterback. He didn't say that. We all know that to be the case, as do you watching, whether you like him or not. I just think there's a little bit more, things that can get handled. So then the narrative this offseason became that Aaron's going to go somewhere else. Aaron's holding the Green Bay Packers hostage. Aaron is demanding and commanding to be the highest paid player in NFL history by a wide margin. That then led to another narrative of this guy's an asshole. This is a selfish prick. That turned some Packers fans against Aaron Rodgers. It also made other fans around the NFL who maybe didn't listen to him talk to us an hour every single week the last 2 fucking seasons. They all had those previous thoughts about him. This dude is a terrible human being. And then this morning, after 2 weeks of hearing from the internet that Aaron Rodgers was going to come on this show and make his decision, even though I had not heard from Aaron Rodgers, I had not chatted with Aaron Rodgers, he's having his offseason. This morning, sources called me.
Okay.
Whoa.
For the first time and said, how you doing? And I said, we keeping it moving? Or what's going on? I said to the source, sis, I see you want to come on the show? He said, I don't think so. Still in the middle of working, getting the whole thing together. The source said, but I would like you to let the world know that after a lot of contemplation and after a lot of thought and meditation and a lot of sleeping on it and talking to a lot of people, I have decided that although retirement was, by the way, the sources did not say I, they said that
They.
yeah.
Right. You get it.
Yeah, so Aaron told me, all right? I'm not good at this. I'm not good at the inside news. I don't have the anonymous sources. Aaron said after a lot of contemplation of potential retirement, after a lot of contemplation of what the future looks like, this morning he felt he was ready to make the actual announcement, and he said, hey, why don't you let the people know that I am officially returning to the Green Bay Packers. Wow. So Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers are once again something that we can look forward to next NFL season. Obviously, you heard Ty Schmidt celebrate there. All Green Bay Packers fans celebrated, and the internet reacted obviously to the insider news tweets. But I wasn't the only person that was, breaking news in the Aaron Rodgers front. Sure. I wasn't the only person, allegedly, I guess, was source says. Mm-hmm. Ian Rappaport tweeted out 2 minutes, 3 minutes after I put out my tweet, by the way. Everybody else is crediting NFL Network and Ian Rappaport, even though I don't know how the insider game works. I mean, we're in it every single day. We try to give proper credit. That was 3 minutes before. I'm not an insider. This is how Rappaport makes a living, whatever the case. But still believe if we're doing a little journalistic integrity and no misinformation on the program, I don't know how the hell this has become the storyline of Aaron Rodgers going back to the Packers, because in my tweet, go back to my tweet, please, I put breaking. According to my sources, Aaron Rodgers will officially be returning to the Green Bay Packers. There is no deal in place currently, but there is said to be a cap-friendly deal on the way. Retirement was a real consideration, and in the end, he is back with the Pack. Not enough characters in the tweet to add, according to my sources, again at the end, because that is real insider stuff. So literally in there, from the information that I heard from my source, says there was no deal in place. A cap-friendly deal is something that they are both going to work towards. And when Ian Rappaport drops a tweet 3 minutes after I do, it says the Packers and MVP QB Aaron Rodgers have agreed to terms on a 4-year, $200 million deal that makes him the highest paid player in NFL history, sources say. He gets a whopping $153 million guaranteed, and his cap number goes down. A monstrous commitment by Green Bay for years to come. So then that automatically becomes the headline. That becomes the source. This becomes everything, because this is Ian's game. This is his world. Categorically false.
Yep.
Wrong.
Wrong. That's it. Wrong. Was actually talked about in my conversation with the source. Says maybe that deal was presented, and maybe just like for the last 2 years, all the way back to the hippies singing Taylor Swift in Hawaii.
That's right.
And jumping off waterfalls. Maybe just like we tried to debunk just a couple weeks ago when it was being reported he was commanding and demanding, maybe this isn't about being the highest paid player in the NFL. Maybe this is about Aaron just wanting to have a little bit more respect in the building and his ideas in the football world. And maybe it is a cap-friendly deal that will nowhere be $200 million, because he wants maybe his friends back who are also up for deals. And the narrative now with the $200 million, $153 million guaranteed being the headline is, oh, Aaron wanted all the money, so he can't bring it. Nope, they're not going to be able to build a team around him.
They're going to have to cut guys
this
now.
Guy, his friends are, sorry about not going to be able to have this guy, not going to be able to have this guy, not going to be able to have this guy. Ultimately, in the end, the selfish Aaron Rodgers chooses all the money in the world instead of what he's been complaining about. False. Like, that is not true. And Ian Rappaport might have had sources that told him, hey, this was the contract that was being offered. But our source says are saying, yeah, just because it was offered doesn't necessarily mean it's true. And everybody will say that, oh, he's a bad businessman then if he's doing that. He might be a bad businessman in this particular case, but I think he's done just fine elsewhere. And his happiness is all this guy cares about. His universe is all this dude cares about. He has an entire book club. Every book is about like enjoying the moment, being right here, your universe being all in sync and everything like that. And you might not agree with that way of thinking. You might not think that way, but all the narratives that are being pushed about this dude just feel like it's a bunch of bullshit from somebody that has been very lucky to have conversations with him publicly. He goes back to the Packers. The contract has not been done. Who knows what it's going to be, but it is definitely going to be a cap-friendly deal because he would like his people back to go on another run with the Green Bay Packers. So congrats to the Pack. Congrats to Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron. Love you, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, thank you for that, by the way, letting me be the source. That's very, very cool. I mean, I'm not getting credit. You know, I'm not getting credit.
Of course not.
That's messed up.
And there's no deal in place, but the deal is getting projected and other people are getting projected as the source. Jay Glazer said hashtag Pat New. That's all that matters to me.
That is all that
bingo.
matters.
That is all that matters to me. That is very nice.